Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 104 for June 9th to 11th. Thanks so much for ordering this week, and thanks for letting us be a part of your special celebration at home. So we have an amazing menu for you tonight. Some of my favorite dishes that Chef Rich does, a lot of Asian-inspired dishes for the appetizer and main course, and I think you will love them. So why don't we go ahead and get started? We need to preheat a cast iron or oven safe pan to medium high heat. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of neutral oil, either canola or grapeseed oil or vegetable oil per person. And we want to get that nice and hot. And then we are going to do our pork tonksu. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Make sure I got some tongs ready for that. I also want to get my small pot ready, and that's going to be for our wild rice and then with cabbage. The oven preheated to 425. Actually, it said 450. So let me just turn that up for 1 second. There we go. By the time I heat the pork in the pan, it will be at 450. Make sure I'm doing that properly. And then when the main course is happening, we are going to go on our beautiful appetizer of the lettuce wraps. So one thing I can do while the pans are warming up, we're going to do some canola or grapeseed oil with your shrimp. You can actually toss it right in the container that it came with, save messing up some of your mixing bowls. We want to save on the dishes. Why not? Give this a rinse and recycle it, or keep it as backup Tupperware, which is what we do here at home. We've got a lot of these. They're great. Okay, so while that's happening, pan looks like it's good. Our shiitake mushrooms will be in a non-stick pan, and I can get that ready by doing 1 tablespoon of neutral oil per person, and then we're going to hit it with some butter afterwards. Okay, so the oil is starting to bubble. So we're going to take our pork. Make sure that you have brought it out of the fridge so that it can warm up to room temperature before you fry it up. I'm going to use that to just rest my tongs, because you don't want to use the tongs for other things when you've touched raw pork, of course. Okay, so while that's going, and let me see how long, we're going to shallow fry the pork for 3 minutes per side, or until golden brown. And then we're going to finish it in the oven for 4 minutes. Now, the rice is next, and on low heat, 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter per person. Sorry, I'm going to turn that down to low. So I'm 2 people tonight. Well, we're actually 3, but we're cooking as if we were 2. My wife has a small appetite. And we need to put a little water in there as well. 1 tablespoon of water per person. So there we go. Melt the butter and the water. And once that's ready, then we hit it. Okay, the shiitake is going to happen afterwards. While the pork is frying, we can go ahead then and start plating our appetizer. This is a really fun one. So we've got this Matane shrimp that comes from the Gaspésie region of Quebec. And so we're going to put it down. Let me make sure I get this right. Start by dolloping. Yes. So we've got this gochujang, which is beautiful, amazing stuff, but it is also spicy. So please moderate it with how spicy you like stuff. And it's this amazing red chili bean paste. And you can use your fingers in there, but just don't lick them afterwards, because it is sticky stuff. And you want to get your hands right in there. By the way, let me tell you while I'm doing this about the wine. We've got one of my favorite sparklings that we do with Curated, our Prosecco Trevesio. We featured this before in our Curated packages, and I'm a huge fan. It is not your typical run-of-the-mill, low-quality Prosecco. This is a really fine, beautiful Prosecco. Connor describes it as floral and citrus notes populate the nose and palate. Tiny bubbles produce delicate, creamy mousse on the dry finish. It's just so refreshing, especially in the springtime now. It's great. So while the pork is bubbling away, why don't I go ahead and spread out our shrimp. So spread them out evenly, unless you want to have a little more for yourself because you're doing the finishing versus the partner in your life if you've ordered meal kit for two. There we go. And lovely. All right, let's check out our pork. It's got a nice brown on it. And we are going to put it in the oven after the other 3 minutes on this side. So it's panko crusted, so a little bit of egg wash, then some flour, and then panko, Japanese breadcrumbs, and they're just terrific. Okay, so while that's happening, oh yeah, the rice stuff is melted, so let's throw the rice in there and give it a stir. Then we're going to season it with salt and pepper at the end once we put our cabbage in there. Okay, so then we can, again, at your discretion on the jalapeno side. My family is not super spicy friendly, so probably one slice is enough for each. Just a little bit of extra heat and pop. Then we've got some pickled carrots, sort of one per. I'll actually cut this up because a couple of them are long. Everyone gets one. And then we've got some fresh mint on top. See which one is a little more Instagram worthy. Okay, I'll check out our pork and how we're doing. Nice golden brown on that side. Excellent. So now we're going to put it in the oven. Hey Google, set a timer for 4 minutes. Now medium heat for our cast iron, our non-stick pan, and that's where we're going to saute the shiitake mushrooms. So let me show you this beautiful thing. Which one's nicer? I'm going to switch out. This one's not as curly as that guy. So let me try that. So there we go. Our beautiful shrimp lettuce wraps with the gochujang, the mint, the pickled carrot, and the jalapeno pepper. All right. And of course over here, let me give the rice a stir. As soon as I start to rest the pork for 5 minutes, that's when I'm going to toss the cabbage in and start braising that a little bit. Let me make sure I got that right. Once your rice is hot throughout, add your cabbage and cook for an additional 2 minutes. So again, I will time it with the pork. Okay, so while that's happening, why don't we go ahead and plate our lovely dessert. So tonight we've got a dark chocolate cake with chocolate cream cheese icing and bourbon cherries. Now, this is a double stacked cake, so I apologize in advance if and we don't have boxes that are a little bit taller, so that might need a little bit of smoothing out. So I'm going to take a knife, smooth this out because it kind of touched the top of the box, but it's just so fabulous. Why would you not want a double stacked chocolate cake? And then we've got our bourbon cherries. So I'm going to put these around. but I might even put some on top. Why not? This is a good looking dessert. I love the bourbon cherries. And you got all the juice in there. Mm. Oh man, that is yummy. Clean that up a little bit. There we go. A lovely dark chocolate cake with chocolate, cream cheese icing, and bourbon cherries. Okay, so this guy's ready. Let's throw the shiitakes in there. You will get them a little bit more full, uncut, um, than we may have sent them in the past, and that is okay. I don't want to use the same tongs that we used for the raw pork, so let's get ones that also work for cast iron pan. There we go. I probably should have used a slightly larger pan, make it easy. So for the shiitakes, 2 minutes in the nonstick pan, and then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter per person, and then cook for an additional 2 minutes. For those vegetarians out there tonight, we've got hen of the woods mushrooms done with this tongshu, so otherwise known as maitake mushroom. And it's great and very meaty, and it's a wonderful complement. And it goes great with the other favorite mushroom of the chefs, which is shiitake as well. Very different in style, texture, taste, flavor, everything. So you have 2 different mushrooms, but they're going to be great. Hey, Google, off. For the red tonight, we've got this amazing Côte de Rhône. I'm a huge fan of. Okay. Now that the pork is completely cooked through, we've already done the hard work, by the way. We've already cooked it sous vide before we breaded it. Yeah. Stop beeping. So we're going to rest it on a baking sheet, like we did that over there. Shiitake's looking good. We need the butter to throw in there. And at the end, we're going to season it with some salt and pepper. Ah, yes, with the pork, I did not season it with salt and pepper at the start, which I should have done. So I'm going to do that now while it's nice and warm, and the salt and pepper will stick a little better. Make sure you do that beforehand. See, this is why I do the videos, so I make all the mistakes for you. And then I'm going to get a spoon to put our amazing tonkatsu sauce on the plate, which is like, I don't know, it's hard to describe the flavor of this, but it's delicious. I've had it lots of times from the chef, and it's just great. The red wine pairing, Domaine de Seminaire Côte de Rhône, 80% Grenache, 10% Syrah, 10% Carignan, certified organic, juicy, high-tone palate, acidity is fresh, and the tannins are appropriately grippy. Japanese don't make red wine, so we need to go to France in order to make a red wine that's going to go with this. Okay, with shiitakes. Oh man, that's looking good. With the butter and everything. Turn that down a little bit. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to put the cabbage in there. Give that a stir, and the cabbage is just going to wilt. I should have done that a couple minutes ago when the pork came out. So I might turn up the heat here just a touch. Also good because the my induction stove turned off while when I put the hot pan from the oven on top of it. So I'm just going to spoon this around and season it with salt and pepper. The salt will immediately start to dehydrate and kick the moisture out of the cabbage. That's going to be great. And the warmth of the rice is going to braise the cabbage nicely. Cabbage has got a little bit of bitterness, so feel free to throw a little extra salt in there. And the butter is going to help as well. Okay, mushrooms. Oh, the butter is browned. This is looking incredible. These are probably the best shiitakes I've ever cooked. So pork is resting, rice and cabbage going. Let me tell you, by the way, about next week, because next week is Father's Day. So if you're thinking about what to do for Father's Day, we've got an amazing menu lineup, pan-seared halloumi cheese with all the fixings, and then we've got chef's amazing smoked baby back ribs. So please order it up. And also we've got deliveries to Perth all through the summer now. So doing drop-offs at the Perth Brewery on Fridays and Saturdays, and then you can come and pick up your package. So if you vacation or cottage near there, or live near there, instead of coming into town, you can just pick it up at the Perth Brewery. No extra charge. We do the driving and the drop-offs, and we even pay Perth Brewery for the handoffs. So you pick it up you order by Thursday at noon, and then you pick up on Friday or Saturday. I think it's between 12 and 8 on Friday and 12 and 6 on Saturday. So give it a try. Okay, I think this is looking good. Turn that guy off. This guy is also off. So the rice and cabbage down first. This is a generous portion. The smell is amazing. Delicious. And why don't we go ahead and put the shiitakes down? The pork is going to go on top of the rice and cabbage. So you can put the shiitakes down beside. And then we're going to swoosh the tongsu sauce for dipping. My apologies if I'm not pronouncing that properly. So, and by the way, if you got a little extra butter with the mushrooms, feel free to put it on the rice. Why not? Anything I can do to get a little more butter in the diet, nothing wrong with that. Now this is our Perth pork. And again, by resting it, all of the juices go to the center and muscle relaxes and it becomes more tender. The chef suggests cutting it in 3. You got a tiny, tiny little bit of pink in there. That's a good thing. We want that. Now I just need to make it artistic. This is a big one. I'm going to cut it into 4. Usually I do the little switch over. So maybe I'll try that. That looks great. Now you're meant to do the dipping with this sauce on the side. It is lovely. All right, check out that bad boy. So our Perth pork tonkatsu, done with the shiitake mushrooms, the wild rice with red cabbage. It's delicious. So thank you for ordering this week. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for all your support and ordering from us. We are very grateful. I hope you love your package at home, and please keep ordering because we want to keep this curated by Becta thing going on as long as we can. We hope to cook and curate for you very soon. Take care.